We found Jeremy via the internet, essentially, and my husband wanted somebody who was, and myself wanted someone who was reliable, who was efficient, who knew what they were doing. We've had a lot of renovation work done in the past and had experience of people who are not experienced in the field, and it just wastes a lot of time and energy. And so we did a lot of research. My husband particularly did a lot of research and found Jeremy on the internet. Yeah, so once we'd made the call to Jeremy, we organised a meeting, and he came round and we sat at the kitchen table, my husband, myself and Jeremy, and we went through the ideals and what we were looking for, and Jeremy very much went through the practicalities, which was really important from our point of view, because I think with bathrooms you need a really practical mind, and it's quite easy to go off and be creative and suddenly come up with ideas for taps and various other things, but actually he was very grounding and very practical, and he really knew what he was talking about. So yeah, it all happened in the kitchen, and it was a really handheld process actually, and very enjoyable, in fact. We made the decision to work with Jeremy once we'd sat down and met him properly. Once we'd worked out who he was as a person, what his experience level was. He's got a wealth of experience, and when we threw questions at him, how he handled those questions, and we worked out whether we were on the same page, essentially, and did we like him as a person as well? I think that's really important when when you're working with someone on something as personal as bathrooms. Do you like the person who is designing the bathroom and who is going to be managing what is, in actual fact, quite an intrusive project, and it's going to be a long-term part of your home. Yeah, that's how we made the decision to go with Jeremy. It was who he was and how he approached the project. The team were lovely, actually. Yeah, there's Brian and Liam's lovely dad, and they were incredibly considerate. I mean, to the point where so carpets are covered, all the rooms, our bathrooms are en suite, so the bedrooms were all covered beautifully. The team were incredibly polite. I constantly said to them, please go and make yourself a cup of tea. I haven't got time to do that, but you're welcome to the kettle, and they didn't actually. However much I asked them to, they weren't intrusive in any way. They were very astute and very personable, and I actually enjoyed having them around in the house, actually. Yeah. As the project progressed, and we saw the changes that were happening, it was exciting, to be honest with you. I started to understand what we were paying for. So I understood that the team had a higher level of detail than many people I've come across, and it is exactly what they do. That is what they do. That is what they experience day in and day out, and they do it incredibly well. So just watching it come together and seeing how they fit together as a team, how they work together as a team, and how organised they were, but also how organised Jeremy was, ordering all the various items that needed to be ordered. There were hundreds of items, and how well organised that was. It was actually really rather beautiful to watch, and I just sort of sat back and relaxed because I felt contained. I didn't feel I had to manage them. I felt they really knew what they were doing, and I felt that they worked as a team incredibly well, and it was very exciting to watch. We actually weren't around when the master bathroom was completed. They did 3 bathrooms for us, and then when the master bathroom was completed, Jeremy sent me a video, and I think I must have watched it like 5 times in a row straight off, because it was just, yeah, it was a bit mind-blowing actually from what it was. I mean, it'd been a bathroom being neglected for goodness knows how many years because we just moved, and it'd been turned into something that was very much part of our personality and part, how we had those conversations in the early days about what we wanted to achieve. And it had been achieved. We had the creativity we wanted in it, but we also had a high level of practicality, which I wouldn't have thought about if I was just going off on my own, picking taps here and there and everywhere, and sort of dipping in and out of random shops. There was a high level of practicality, and the creativity was beautiful, and it showed our personality. It was great. It was really great, actually. Really good. I would definitely recommend Jeremy. I have already, and I've recommended him to many people already, I haven't had people visit the bathrooms yet, so they're quite new, but they're my space, and sometimes I take time to, I escape into there, you know. It's like a space where I like, oh, I need a break, I'm going to the bathroom, you know, and that's quite a unique thing to say, but definitely recommend Jeremy. I mean, no question. And like I say, we've had a lot of renovation work done. We've done many bathrooms in various different properties, and no, he definitely came out top. Definitely yes to Jeremy. It's reassuring to have a 5-year warranty, of course it is, because, and what I found with Jeremy is that throughout the process, you know, he would guide me and my husband as to where to look for taps and baths and the various utilities. And he has a very good relationship with those companies. And so he was very much, well, if something goes wrong, there is no question, it will be sorted. It won't go wrong, but if there happened to be an issue with a tap, for example, it will be sorted quickly and easily, and that is incredibly reassuring. And yes, that definitely played into our decision making, because we don't want the hassle of having to go backwards and forwards when bathrooms go wrong or building work goes wrong and then we can't fix it. We've got that reassurance that there's a 5-year guarantee there, and we've got that relationship with Jeremy that works really well. Jeremy is incredibly practical. He manages expectations incredibly well. He's very, very thorough. His team has a high level of attention to detail. I find that he's very enjoyable to work with, an excellent communicator, and he's delivered our projects spot on to time, like within the time frame that he said he'd deliver it, it has been delivered. And that's because of his knowledge set, it's because of his experience, and it's because of how he works. And I just don't think you can beat that. If you are somebody who is very busy, you're time-starved, and you want things done to a high level, then without a doubt, seriously consider Jeremy. He's brilliant.